Hey, Cub fans! Thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. And I lost some sleep last night. In fact, I was up laying in bed awake thinking about it early this morning, and I needed to talk to you guys about it. And I think what happened was I watched the game yesterday against the Padres. And before I get into that, if you guys didn't know, but Tony Gwynn's son, Tony Gwynn Jr., is a commentator for the Padres. So I listened to him yesterday, and I got to tell you, he was a delight. He sounds exactly like Tony did. I swear, it was like I was listening to Tony Gwynn talk. He talks like him. It's the same pace. The laugh is the same. Um, it was just really incredible. I was telling my wife about it. It was like I really feel like I was just sitting listening to Tony Gwynn. It's that dead on. So if you hadn't had a chance to listen to Tony Gwynn Jr. and you were a fan of Tony Gwynn, go ahead and check him out. I may have to listen to some Padre games just to hear him. Anyway, so yesterday during the Padre game, a couple things happened. Number one, Dom Smith played first base and Garrett Cooper DH'd. And I got to tell you, I like them both. So that created the domino effect that led me into this first base log jam. So let's just talk about what we've got and give you guys a couple of pieces of information so that moving forward from this point, we have an idea what we're looking for. So first thing is we've got some injuries. I mentioned previously that Ian Happ is out with what they describe as a mild hamstring. Nick Madrigal left the game yesterday after his first at bat with, I'm going to describe it, he looked gimpy, is what it looked like. So he's out. Looks like another leg situation. Patrick Wisdom has been out for about a week now, leg situation with him. And then we got Brendan Davis, who's still on the concussion protocol. So Happ and Madrigal and Wisdom are obviously start to think, well, are they going to be opening day ready? If Happ's got a hamstring strain, I don't know how he gets ready. So I'm going to take those guys out of the equation just so we can sort of look forward. So if we take Happ and Madrigal and Patrick Wisdom out of the equation, what do we have left? Well, we've got 7 guys right now that are pretty much automatics. Dansby, Nico, Seiya, Gomes and Amaya, Belly, and Morel. So those are the 7 guys that we sort of lock in. But another piece of information is Talkman has already been, I guess, guaranteed a spot on the opening day roster. Craig Counsell has already told him that, and Craig Counsell had told the media here this week that Talkman is on. So there's 8 guys, and I'm going to deal with 13 of them. So there's 8 guys that are sort of locked in, and that's without Happ on that list. So now we're looking at, okay, well, who's the rest of them? So we got Master Boney, who is looking like he's got a really good chance to make the opening day roster because he's so versatile. He can play the outfield. So to me, he's kind of there. So that might be the 9th guy. And then we go, okay, at first base, here's the log jam. We've got Dom Smith, Garrett Cooper. We've got Michael Bush. You got Matt Mervis. Then we've got Jake Slaughter, who's looking pretty decent, but I wouldn't say he's in the mix, but he's on the list of guys that can play first base. And if we assume that PCA is not going to make the opening day roster, and I'm going to say that as of now, that would be my prediction based on what's happened to this point, unless there's a situation where he's needed, I'm going to predict that PCA does not make the opening day lineup, which means we've got Bellinger in center field on a sort of a regular day basis, which means if Happ's not there, who's going to be our left fielder, right? So is it going to be Canario? Are they going to let Master Boney play out there? I don't know. So that's a domino effect too. But back to the first base situation. Dom Smith played first base yesterday, guys, and I've only seen him play first base one time. He got 2 hits, by the way. And dude's a professional first baseman. I mean, he's left-handed. He's very comfortable over there, and he looks like what a professional first baseman should look like. I was really impressed with Dom Smith. He was confident. He was slick. He had a nice pick. He moves well. He made a nice play. He hit 2 balls really hard. He had command at the plate. Dom Smith looked great to me. Now let's go to Garrett Cooper. I haven't seen Garrett Cooper play first base, but I imagine he can. But Garrett Cooper DH yesterday, and this guy's a hitter. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, how long do I have to watch a guy hit before I can walk away knowing he's a hitter? Not long, right? He looked in the box like he had command, and he was close. He actually had a base hit that drove in a run. He's third at bat yesterday. But even when he struck out yesterday, but he still looked good, right? Guys strike out, but he didn't look overwhelmed. He didn't look like he was capable. My point would be, if there's 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth and we need a guy up, and you tell me I can go with either Dom Smith or Garrett Cooper, I think I'm good with that. I like that idea. So those 2 guys, then you add Michael Busch. There's the third guy who theoretically is maybe penciled in for that job, but I don't know. Left-handed hitter. Dom Smith is a left-handed hitter, left-handed throwing first baseman. Garrett Cooper's a righty. Busch is a right-handed first baseman, hits left-handed. Then you got Matt Mervis, lefty-lefty. So we're talking about 6 guys. I'll add another one. David Bote, and there's a big conversation about David Bote. He's 30 years old, and are the Cubs going to give him a chance? A lot of people don't want them to. They feel like they've let the David Bote ship sail, but other people are saying, well, at this point, David Bote might be a guy. He can play every place in the infield. He leads the league in home runs here in the spring training, and he's 30 years old. He looks really good. So I'm going to throw David Bote in the mix of possible first base time because he played first base just the other day. So we've got a log jam at first base. We've got some injuries that throw some issues into the outfield situation in left field. What are we going to do there? Then you go, okay, well, DH. I think first base and DH go hand in hand. Okay, here's why. If you start listing your potential DH people, all but one of them to me are first baseman. Garrett Cooper, Michael Busch, Mervis. And then if you're gonna give one of the kids a chance, and the kids, I got the list of Casey, PCA, Shaw, Canario, and Alcantara. Those are the 5 guys that I think are sort of the nucleus of what's coming. And we break those guys down. Canario might be the one kid that we could probably use. I think he can play the left field position. I think he can perform as a DH as well. Even though he hasn't quite clicked yet this spring, he looks really close. So Canario may be that possibility too. Owen Casey is hitting the cover off the ball. There's no question about it. And as of right now, he's earned a spot offensively. But his defense scares me. I don't know that I'm comfortable plugging Owen Casey in left field at the start of the season. I don't think it would go too well. So I just don't think Owen Casey is ready, even though offensively he looks like he might be. I don't know that he's ready defensively. And PCA is sort of the reverse. I don't think PCA is ready. Based on what I've seen this spring, I don't think PCA is ready offensively. I think he needs some time. Matt Shaw, the same way. Matt Shaw had an at-bat yesterday that was really good. He was facing Wandy Peralta in the 9th inning, and Wandy just lights out these first 2 guys. And then Shaw comes out and puts an at-bat on him. It ends up stinging one to the left field wall. And I got to tell you, that's the most impressive thing I've seen Matt Shaw do all spring. He faced Wandy Peralta, and Wandy's in a save situation in spring training. And Shaw just stepped up, and it was a really nice at-bat, and he hit the ball hard. And actually put us in a position to tie the game with that double. So 2 outs, top of the 9th, we're down a run, and Shaw doubles off Wandy Peralta. And then Bote comes up with Shaw on second base, has a chance, hits the ball hard, but grounds out to the third baseman. So Matt Shaw, he can hit, but he's not ready defensively. So Casey, PCA, and Shaw to me aren't ready. Then Alcantara homered recently, but he's not ready either. Canario is the one that to me is closest to ready. He doesn't look all that unsure in the outfield. He looks like he's very capable. So the fact that Happ is out, Canario may get a look. But we've got just such a log jam of guys that it's going to be very interesting down the stretch here in spring training. We got cuts that are coming soon. We've got still time to watch these people play. And I got to tell you, when I start to think about who plays, and there's a lot of variables that go into making the decision. And I always start with who's earned it, right? I'm like, well, you earn the job you play. That's what baseball is. But baseball is, if you're the best, then you play. The best gets to play. And that's why it's so impressive when guys stay in the league for 15, 16, 20 years, like the Hall of Famers do. Because every year you got to make the team. Every year you got to be better than everybody else. Every year you've got to perform, otherwise you get replaced. So I'm like, well, let's just let the players decide. We'll see it. There's plenty of spring training left. We're going to get a chance to watch these guys perform and let the players decide. It's like you're coaching a team and you go, well, who are you going to play? I don't know. The players will tell me. They'll tell you. So, but we got a lot of guys to look at. Bubble guys, Master Boney, Louis Vasquez looks really good, the infielder. Bote's on the bubble. Dom Smith, Garrett Cooper, Matt Mervis, Canario. What happens with Happ? How long is he going to be out? And then Madrigal. If Master Boney is in, I did a piece on Master Boney and Madrigal. There's a video on the channel. You can check that out. I did it in December comparing the two. And I'm still on it today. I'm like, if you ask me today to go, you can either have Master Boney or Madrigal. Well, I think Master Boney has outplayed him to this point. I think he's more valuable. I think he would make us better. So, but it seems like Madrigal everybody likes him a little better than I do. And then we'll see what comes back with Wizzy. So it's really going to be fun here for the next week or two to see how these guys shake out. But the good news is I really like Dom Smith. I really like Garrett Cooper. They look like pros. They look like guys who are ready now. They look like guys who I think we could probably count on from day one. Where some of the other guys might be question marks, and we would hope they kind of do it. But I think it's good news. I think there's a lot of positives to it. Outside of it being entertaining, I think we've got some guys that can fill in. Plus, we're still not, there's still some possible moves, right? And with all these guys, maybe there's some trades in the works we don't know about. But it sure is an interesting time. Being a Cub fan. It's a great time to be a Cub fan too. I really believe that it's going to be fun over the next several years, right? We've got the kids coming that are really good. They're just not quite ready. That's okay. We've got a pretty decent nucleus of veterans. I think we're really good now without the kids, but they're coming. And the transition is going to be fun to watch. So I don't know. We may be at the beginning of a stretch as Cub fans that's going to be really fun, and I'm glad we're here. So that's what's on my mind. I appreciate you guys checking me out here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. If you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button for me. I'd really appreciate it, and we'll talk very soon. Go Cubs, go.